Hey again, everybody. It's Todd Atkins with the Sportsmen's Alliance bringing forward more evidence. We're going to focus a little bit on John Lehmkuhl. Commissioner Lehmkuhl, we've talked about in other videos. We've provided documentation of various problems with Commissioner Lehmkuhl. We're going to focus on him here for a few minutes. Let's go back in history, shall we, to the November 2022 meeting where Lorna Smith's motion to kill spring bear hunting prevailed. Just note here how John Lehmkuhl, in this communication to Melanie Rowland, Lorna Smith, and Tim Reagan, says, I'm okay with Lorna's motion. That's the motion that killed spring bear hunting. This is well before that meeting. We've talked about how they daisy chain meetings and they get all set and they know what's on their internal agenda to take care of. But I'm going to take us back to earlier in this email string. Lehmkuhl is talking about his own proposal. That was kind of what he described as a middle-of-the-road approach. No recreational spring hunts, but management hunts would be allowed. And here I've highlighted, I'm not saying it's the best or only option, but it's worth considering to make the staff improve and garner support from hunters and other commissioners. You'll notice, what does that have to do with science? Garner support from hunters and other commissioners. This is going to be a routine from Commissioner Lehmkuhl. You would think with a PhD, he actually would care more about science than anything. No. He sees his role as that of a politician. So again, going earlier in that year, there was a vote in a commission meeting regarding whether or not cougar hunting would be curtailed, limited, restricted in some way. And John Lehmkuhl didn't vote with the other fanatical four. Well, he points out immediately, I apologize. I could have very easily voted no like you all on the motion. Wow, okay, I guess you could have voted either way. That shows a basic level of incompetence as far as I'm concerned, but let's continue. He does want to make it clear he would not support predator control as normal management, and I hope I did not give that impression. Oh, it gets a lot better, folks. Part of me did not want to be that commissioner who says no to every DFW hunting-related proposal. Wow. We have a commissioner with a PhD that is just disregarding that scientific education altogether. Hey, I'm a politician. I have to think about the world this way. Again, it gets better. If we as commissioners really want to work under a big tent, then we have to pick our battles and have some give and take with stakeholders. He is taking every mandate and kicking it to the curb. This was a small battle in my estimation, and look at his own personal upshot. What is gained by my vote is keeping some social currency with the hunting community who thinks the commission generally is against them and with the Eastern Washington politicians. Forget science, forget our other mandates. I have to worry about social currency because I'm a politician pushing an agenda. Wow, so disappointing. PhD isn't even there. Also, I did not support predator control as business as usual. Yeah, you've already stated that, Commissioner Lehmkuhl. We get your position. In other words, really important here. In other words, I gave away little for a lot of goodwill from some stakeholders who feel oppressed on an issue that I think has some scientific support. Holy smokes. You could have, at the end of the day, Commissioner Lehmkuhl just leaned on your scientific training and said, it has scientific support, that's the way I voted. But no, he's a politician. Look at here. I'm trying to walk the middle ground, and I can tell you that it did not feel good to alienate all sides of the DFW public in the contrasting cougar and bear votes. My goodness, just like a politician, a Democrat or a Republican, right? That's not your role, sir, with all due respect. Oh, and looky here. This is the same commissioner we've brought up that personally said we have to worry about appearing like we're colluding. Well, I've already talked with Sam Brugger. Remember, Samantha Brugger is with Washington Wildlife First. My goodness, sir. Have you talked to anybody else? Other advocates? Wow, amazing. I think they lost little compared to the big carnivore battles ahead. True blue ideology and politicking, not acting as all of us want commissioners to act. So at the end of the day, when I then find this text string between Lehmkuhl and Barbara Baker, yeah, this is who John Lehmkuhl is. This is back in that same time period, July of 22, and there was a vote on wolves. And that policy has been the subject of much of what we brought forward to the public. But look at what Commissioner Lehmkuhl has to say. Interesting vote on wolves, but predictable. I guess that is what the governor asked for. I wonder what he'll say about no rule. Wow. So everybody in the state of Washington should be deeply troubled by an individual commissioner who assesses the entire world as a politician, not as an expert on fish and wildlife management issues, but instead engages in all of this politicking and does so in the dark. Does so by colluding with advocates. Not transparent approaches. Very, very disappointing. I would hope that somebody with a PhD could actually bring more gravitas to the job than simple politicking over and over again. Stay tuned, everyone. The heat will stay on, and we're going to keep bringing it. We're looking forward to it. Ever hopeful that the governor will finally see enough and do the right thing. See you soon.